Hello and welcome to The Shed. I'm Mark, your host, and this is another Thursday Night Live. We're in the shed tonight, and I'd like to just welcome everyone here and thank you for taking the time for tuning in. This week's a little bit unprepared, as in I actually haven't had much going on in the shed. We've had a lot of other things happening in the house lately and around home here, and it's been a bit cool and all that sort of stuff. So it's just an ask me anything tonight. Any questions about the steamroller, things in general. Of course, we're getting prepared for the up and coming steam rally for steaming under the Southern Cross under the NHMA. And you've seen me play that commercial a few times, and I'll play it again tonight in a few minutes and give you an overview of what's happening. The company I work for is supplying us the loan of the tilt tray truck, which I've previously used before. I'll just show a photo. G'day, Kerry. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. We're going to share the screen. And this photo here. This is the tilt tray that we brought the roller home on. And that was just over 7 years ago now. That tilt tray is a bloody good truck. It'll take 10.5 tonne legally. As you can see, the roller fits on there nicely with a bit of room to spare, and well within the capabilities of the vehicle. No lack in power or anything. In fact, really didn't notice the roller being on there at all. Well, anyway, that's what you get. So just a shout out to everyone who's watching. We got quite a few people in the chat here. We got Mum and Dad watching us on the big screen. So give a wave to Mum and Dad. The sisters in the house, and we've got Peter, Cody. Cody was first in actually. Peter. There's a few others, and there's g'day Robbo. Thanks for being here. So where was my train of thought? That's it. Train of thought. No train. The train's left the station, that's for sure. Tonight, anyway. Excuse me. So hopefully we've got good audio coming through. We've got the Rode wireless microphone. I had a few problems setting up before, so I had to do a restart and all that sort of thing. Sometimes you get that. And it's always good to, refresh your computer, give it if it's certainly been running for a while, that's for sure. But getting back on to what's been going on, or what's going to happen, actually, it probably should be more of a get what's going on, or what's going to happen in the shed, is that this truck on the screen here, the tilt tray, will be used to take up various pieces of equipment from my club at the Queensland Steam and Vintage Machinery Society up to the rally site, which is about 20 minutes the other side of Toowoomba, at a place called Kingsthorpe. And there'll be, unfortunately, my steamroller won't be going because it's just not ready to go. It's in a million pieces, as you know. And but there's plenty of other vintage vehicles going on over this event. So I'll run that ad and give you, actually I'll stop sharing that screen. That's the shovel I'm working on, and we'll hide that on screen. And I'll run the video for the event coming up.
Steaming under the Southern Cross is back and bigger than ever. Australia's largest display of working heritage machinery, steam engines, vintage tractors and much more. Fun for the whole family. Don't miss it. August 23 to 31 at Kingsthorpe Park on the Warrego Highway.
So there you go. That's the event. what that ad is just a very small overview of what's actually going to be there. The event's turning into quite a large event with singers, other events like tractor pull, like major tractor pull, the big ones with the big engines that go bang, that sort of thing. You know, there's going to be vintage trucks there and various other things as well. Robbo, good on you, mate. Go chase a train. Happening in Brisbane is the RNA annual Brisbane exhibition, or commonly known as the Ekka. And back in the day, many people used to catch a steam train to the Ekka. And hey, Funkin' Hungry, how are you, mate? Thanks for being here. So Queensland Railways ran a steam train. They used to do it on a regular basis, and then it fell by the wayside because of the, you know, that thing, that problem we had, that whatever you want to call it. Oh, that's right, the toilet paper issue that we had. Oh, good on you, G. I hope you got something nice for dinner. And I tell you what, I will. So mum, dad, and my sister went to have a look at the train. They were going to go for a ride on the train, but of course it was very popular. There was a big lineup, so they just stood on the opposite platform and took some photos. And I'll just get one of mum and dad's photos to look at here. I'll just make sure we can share that right now, and I'll get it up on screen. Oh, it's good. I'm just waiting for that to sink into the cloud, and we'll get that up on screen. But while we're waiting for that to sync, righto. So this here, I've uploaded a video of it. This shovel here, actually, I better turn on the light a bit. Oh, hang on. This is a highly professional setup that I'm really well organised. And I keep saying I'm well organised, but not really. Right, a bit more lighting. Right, okay, so this here is a coal shovel. Now, more than likely, it would have been used on a steam loco or something like that, because it's a fairly large shovel, and the handles, they come in various sizes, and this here is quite long. So we're going to be taking this with us up to the rally, and we're going to be cooking. It's going to be ideal for cooking bacon and eggs on the shovel. Now, that's something that loco crews would do. Normally with a steamroller or something, what people like to do, they'll get a cast iron pot and make up some sort of a soup or a broth or something like that, or even do a roast and put it in the smoke box, and you put it in there, and as you're going along, the heat comes through and cooks it. So you've got your own little mobile oven if need be. And of course, you wrap it up to make sure that soot doesn't get involved, soot doesn't get into it, and you've got a nice hot meal on the road. So yeah, so this was a bit, even though it looks a bit rusty, it's a lot better than what it was. I put a bit of engine oil on the handle here. This handle's a little bit loose, but my friend Adrian, who gave me this shovel, he said just to soak this in a bit of water or even vinegar or something, just to make it look, it really doesn't matter, but yeah. So this will be a nice little cooking surface to cook bacon and eggs or something like that when we're on the steamroller from the club. Now, right, I'll put that down there out the way. I'll probably kick it. Yeah, actually, it's just jumped up to 15. So I've got a computer over here, so that's counting that. So that's probably 14. Yeah. So, Cherinator, g'day, mate. How are you? All the way from Wee Bonnie, Scotland. Thanks for tuning in, mate. I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going well. So that's what I was going to do. That's where I was going. The train has definitely left the station tonight. on my side of things anyway. Right, no. Oh, that's right. This bloody thing. I've got to do this. Righto. There we go. Oh, I'm a bit dry in the throat. I should have brought some water up with me. So what you're seeing on screen is a steam locomotive from Queensland Railways. It's part of the heritage fleet. This is just one of their heritage fleet of steam locomotives. Hang on. Oh, that's perfect. That's winner, winner, chicken dinner. Righto, so where was I? Righto. Yes, this steam locomotive was used for the Brisbane exhibition. That's it. Class BB18 the quarter, or commonly known as Betty. Queensland Railways class their locomotives on the size of the cylinders. So 18 the quarter is the actual diameter of the cylinder of the steam locomotive. Now, behind it is a set of heritage carriages. And if you go onto YouTube, there's plenty of videos of this thing doing the circuit from Roma Street Station through Brisbane Central and down into the Ekka Loop and then back around to Roma Street again. I think they did that a total of 4 times or something like that. It was very popular, big lineup, you know, so they could have run 2 of these trains and they still would have been over full. Oh, Cherinator, thanks, mate, for becoming a member. I really appreciate that, mate. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Mate, you didn't have to do that, but look, I do appreciate it. And if anyone else wants to become a member, you can. It's something $1 a month or $1.50 a month or something like that. It goes back into the channel and growing this channel. We are slowly growing. I'm not. Okay, righto. I'm not really pushing the channel real hard at the moment. I do things as I can. As most of you know, I work a full-time job, like a lot of us, and you know, I do this in my spare time. So I do appreciate anything. I appreciate you guys supporting me like it is. And Mark's in the chat. Mark Abbott. Now you guys heard of me talk about Mark. He's my offsider. He helps me out at Petrie. Well, we help each other out down at Petrie, and we look after the steamroller Marion. And oh my God, fucking hungry. Oh, geez, you didn't have to do that, mate. I didn't expect that. I really do appreciate it. So all I can offer you at the moment for memberships is a bunch of emojis, and I try when I push out a video. I try and you know, let the members get access beforehand, quite a few hours earlier than the general public. Obviously, I need to you know, try and find a bit more incentive for the members, but I do appreciate it. I really do. Now, gee, last Thursday I gave you a shout out, mate, because you sent me that lovely care package of all the teas and the oh God, brain freeze, frame. The smackos for the puppies, for the dogs. So you can go back to last week's live stream, have a look at that, and we did feed the puppies on the screen. They're upstairs with Mrs. Shed Talk at the moment. And in the warmth, it is a bit cool here for me. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I didn't know whether you saw it or not. Now, look, it's about 12 degrees here. I don't know if for most people that's probably pretty warm, depending on what part of the world you're in. TIG, yes, of course. I wondered what TIG was. So some of the emojis that you guys put in the chat do show up in Talk. This is Talk Studio. Myself and Funk and Hungry use Talk Studio, and it's pretty simple. It works, but there could be a few things that they could improve. Now, Talk Studio is part of Streamlabs, and you can get the Streamlabs thing on your computer and do that. In fact, I've got the Streamlabs mobile app for going live, but also I recently solved a problem. Actually, I'll get back to, hang on. Now, I got to one thing's for sure. All right, so I'll just share this. No, I'll just share the screen. All right, I'll stop sharing that, and then I'll share screen. Now I won't play this, but I'll just share the guy's channel. It just came up in my feeds when I typed this in. Like I said, there is plenty of videos out there of this going around. Australian Transport, New South Wales, Queensland YouTube channel. If you want to go and have a look at his videos, please do. He's showing the Ekka steam train. I haven't watched it yet. It's probably some really good video, and looks like he's got himself a good vantage point. Well worth it. Of course, the advantage that so I'll stop sharing that. Stop. In my screen share. Righto. I will say one thing. Robbo, who's in our chat, he's down at a place called Thilmia, and there's a role, and Transport Heritage New South Wales they've got their game on like you wouldn't believe. When they have an event down there, they usually have about 3, if not 4, steam locomotives in operation at once, and it's really fortunate that they got the backing of the government with their heritage fleet. In fact, I'm a little bit jealous of what they do down there with their heritage fleet and how well organised it is compared to what we've got up here. I really wish that the counterparts up here in Queensland that look after the heritage fleet here would take a leaf out of their book down in New South Wales, because it's just absolutely fantastic. In saying that, there is plenty of, if you're into your steam trains and things like that, there's quite a few places to go and have a look at operation of Queensland heritage steam locomotives and rolling stock. However, in saying that, right, I'll just pop that up on screen, Rollo. Transport Heritage Expo coming up in October long weekend. That's really well. I mean, if I had more time and holidays and money was no issue, that'd be something I'd go to. You can look that up on YouTube too and see what happened. They incorporate a whole variety of heritage equipment, buses, trams and everything. It's just really well organised. So thanks, Robbo. In terms of software platforms and what we use here, there are several ones out there. You can use, a free version. However, as you can see, we're streaming in 1080p, which I think is the bare minimum we should be streaming in this day and age. There's other options out there. There's one called Meld Studio. That's a free version, but it takes a fair bit to get organised, even though there's plenty of people showing you tutorials on there. Maybe I'm probably going to switch over to that eventually, but we'll see how we go. But there's always options out there for live streaming and things like that. So there's plenty of tools. Right, getting back to the shed. Everyone, the guys in in the chat here, if anyone's interested, all have their own channels. You can go check them out, give them a bit of love, go and say hello, watch them when they go live, all that sort of thing, or whatever their content is, regardless of what they do, food reviews or something like that. So it's a good way to see other people's content. Right, moving right along. Right, okay, yes, righto. Just in terms of steam trains, 3526, that's a nice loco, that is, and it's really nice to see running. If you're into that sort of thing, once again, if you don't know what it is and you want to go have a look at it, have a look on YouTube. Plenty of videos of that particular engine running around down there. Thanks, Robbo, I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy your time chasing it. Now, getting back on the steamrollers, as we weren't. This is a good book. This is a reproduction catalogue by John Fowler and Company, or Fowler Leeds, as they are known there. I have talked about this previously, and it's just a fantastic book. If you're into steamrollers, traction engines, or your road steam or anything like that, a book like this, in fact, I've got 3 in total. Well, actually, I've more than 3. So I've got this one here. This is John Fowler and Company Leeds. They're the ones who built the steamroller. This is a book called On Traction Engines. It's Catalogue Part 2, number 62. There obviously would have been a Catalogue Part 1, and maybe there would have been a Catalogue Part 3. However, what is the interesting thing with these books is, for me, is the artwork and the things like this, like the, the certificates, or just the way the artwork. It's just really good stuff. And you can see the illustrations on the opposite page there. They're just fantastic. You can see exactly what's going on, and what you're getting. And there is this particular book, there's a lot of interesting technical details, and in terms of your engine and how much things cost and all that sort of stuff. And they also give you weights and horsepower and all that sort of stuff. Because back in the day, like, for instance, like here, price list, traction engines, road locomotives, wagons, etc. This is a AMA. You can ask me anything if you want. You can see there that back in the day, a 5 horsepower engine was 933 pounds. Obviously, that's a lot of money back in the day. But if you were, if you're a contractor or looking at a way to make a few extra dollars, then these various pieces of equipment were available to purchase as is and when. They promoted themselves pretty well in terms of where they went. And for instance, back in the day, John Fowler and Company were the premier producer of cultivating machinery, or what we would call earth moving machinery today. And they were in parts of the world that you and I have probably never been to or heard of, So they were well represented around the world, various agents. In fact, my steamroller here was imported by the agents in Brisbane, and that was Queensland Machinery Company. There was various other agents around Australia. They weren't the sole exclusive agents, but you get things like, what's really impressive, you could get a crane engine. Now, there's an example of one of these coming to the rally, and that's coming over from Western Australia. And I believe that's on its way, almost getting ready, like it'll be loaded very shortly and on its way over. So you don't see these things around every day, and it's certainly going to draw a crowd. Hey AJ, how are you, mate? Thanks for being here. So I'll just actually read at the start here. And this is how John Fowler and Company would advertise their stuff, you know. Steam Plough Works, you know, and their address, road locomotives and traction engines. They also built, you know, steam locomotives and things like that. And there's a lot of examples of narrow gauge steam locomotives that were here in Australia, working in various sugar mills and things like that. And now I have showed a photo before, which there's a couple other photos here which I'll show, which you might recognise. So, no, this one here, I've got that picture on my other computer, and it's of the assembly shop or erecting shop. And there's a couple other photos here you can see on page on the screen there of the machine shop, and they don't show the casting shop, but the one up the top here is looks like the boiler shop where all the various bits of plates are to make the boilers and so on. And everything was belt driven back in the day. Safety, well, you know, safety would have been wasn't very high on the list of priorities. But you can see this page here shows the various types of engines manufactured, traction engines and other engines and steamrollers as well. Oh, wow. Hey, Robbo, thanks for that, mate. Appreciate you becoming a member. That's the first. The memberships, I really got to pick my game up now, haven't I? But very much appreciated. I really do. Thank you very much. There was one particular thing I wanted to. Anyway, so the 3 books in total, and this is another one. The cover's faded a little bit. Fowler Steam Road Vehicles. This is the book he was talking about. This has been a really good book. There's some technical details in here in this particular one. I've helped out a few people, one of the blokes in the UK to do with setting of the valves and things like that. You know, so as a manufacturer, they were really good about providing information about their machinery and equipment. And it really has helped us and me and others in our restoration projects. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Terminator, you're right, mate. You're bloody right. Yeah, well, I wouldn't have thought of it, mate, so you've stumped me on that one. Oh, geez. Fair enough. Look, anyway, look, further on this, look, I can't, I know I keep carrying on, but have a look at that artwork, seriously. That's just fantastic. For when these were produced, 1920s or something like that, and even like this, okay, so we're getting serious here. So there's a cutaway there of the cylinder. Now, that cylinder is what you see on screen there. Oh, Terminator, you're being cheeky, mate. Is exactly what's on the steamroller we have here. And it's just fantastic to see how much detail is in this. And normally that's the sort of detail you don't see, obviously, unless you've got X-ray vision or something like that. You know, so this sort of stuff, I mean, I think a catalogue like this is about $30 or something like that. It might cost you an extra $10 to get it posted or something like that. And it's just, it really is invaluable. It just for someone like me, it's really helped me a lot. they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, yeah, it's true. So I probably should start selling these bloody books. These are reproduction. You can find them online, but I should see if I could get a supply of them and advertise them for sale for interested people, because you just never know who it's going to help. That's for sure. And there is a lot of steam road vehicles still out there manufactured by John Fowler and Company, or other manufacturers like Aveling and Porter and so on. And it's part of history. It's something we need to try and preserve, and certainly doing that. So the other video I will show, on the weekend, Mum and Dad were up for a visit. Dad was going to come up on a Saturday, but he wasn't feeling the best. He had a rough night, so Mum and Dad came up on Sunday. Why would they play? Friday. So I did. So Dad gave me a help in the shed, and that was cleaning up, or just putting a what's the name? Just a coating of protective oil on the boiler tubes that we've got here, because they're got a bit of surface rust on them. So I got excuse me. I got the hiccups. I got Dad on the old time lapse, and this this is what it looks like. Thanks, Cherinator. I appreciate it, mate. I really do. If you're starting up your chat, definitely get you back over on Cherinator chat. And as you can see, I'll make a few brief appearances. I think might have seen one of the shed dogs in real quick, and it's just a simple coat of. There you go. 30 seconds is all it took, and it actually took longer than that. And we've got the boiler tubes all racked up over there. In fact, I'll swing the camera around. I'll swing this other camera around and show you. And in fact, yeah. Hang on. Oh, look at that. There's two of me. Hang on. Righto. I'll just... So that's the setup there, the two computers. The one on the left's just the old one. That's how I run the show. I got a little switcher down there. So I had a bit of a clean up in here. This was a bit of a mess for a while. We moved things down, and there was a lot of dust getting around. And these are the boiler tubes here. I could probably zoom in, but I'm not going to. So when time comes, which will be after the steam rally, that's going to take a lot of our time. We'll be getting closer and closer to putting these boiler tubes back on. We've got the cover for the gearing. Behind that's the flywheel. There's a couple other bits and pieces in there. We've got the chimney. More than likely, the chimney, I'm going to have to remake that. It's showing its age. Don't forget, this steamroller sat outside in the elements for 50 years. It probably worked all its life outside. And when they finished with it in about 1961, they then put it in a park in the local town, and that's where it sat with no cover. So it has, the toll of weather and, all sorts of other things, people stealing stuff, did actually take its toll. Here we go. We're back on screen. I've got to put the glasses back on so I can see it. Yes. So, in a nutshell, that's about it. We've what's the picture of the train? Which one, mate? Which one? I've got a few of them. Which train? The one up, hang on, I'll go back. Good question, Peter. Yes, I do. Right, I'll just go back to that one up on the wall there, Stephen. Yeah, right. Okay, so that one is, as you can see, that you may not be able to see the title, but that's the Zigzag Railway. That's in Lithgow, New South Wales. That's exactly what it says. That's a zig and a zag. There's plenty of videos on YouTube, and for a long time they were shut down. They suffered quite a few fires. Right, let's get out here. They suffered some fires, and which caused damage to rolling stock and locomotives and things like that, and they were shut down. Here in Australia, we operate. Oh, right, excellent. I'll get to you in a second, Robbo. So they operate narrow. It used to be 4 foot 8.5 standard gauge, which you guys, which Europe operates on Cherinator. But here in Australia, we had about 4 different gauges. Here in Queensland, my state, we have 3 foot 6. New South Wales is 4 foot 8.5. However, that particular tourist railway, the Zigzag Railway, is 3 foot 6, and they're running locomotives from Queensland and rolling stock from Western Australia or South Australia, I think. So Robbo's saying he went for a trip on the Zigzag. That's great. Yep, they're back up and running. There's once again Cherinator. If you have a look on YouTube for Zigzag Railway, you'll be able to see it, and you know it's quite a good. They got a good thing going on there, that's for sure. Right, Peter. Tubes, yes. Well, I was very lucky that those tubes were already swaged one end. So the tube, when you put the tubes in, one end is always slightly bigger than the other. So you have to swage one end out, and that's already been done. And I have done a test fit of one of the boiler tubes in the boiler, and they fit perfectly. There's not a lot of clearance there in the tubes, depending on what size the tubes are, because the sizes that were available back in the day are not available today. So you have to deal in metric sizes or something like that. However, I'll show you an example of a tube expander, and where's that? Over there. There is a guy on YouTube called Vintage Iron. Double Boost. Now Peter knows Double Boost. He's just done a good video with another guy of putting some tubes in a steam traction engine. That's the one I want. Right, we're back. We're back. Right, I'm going to take that off screen. Hopefully this is the one. Yep, that's the one. Righto, so keep it wrapped up. I'll probably need to put some oil on it. Now out. Oh, righto. Righto, so this here is a tube expander. Now there's several different types. I think this one is the wrong size for the tubes that I have. I have a couple. There's no actual size on here, but this part here goes inside the tube, and right, so that comes out. These rollers here, they go in, that goes inside the tube. Then you put this tapered bar in, like so, and you start winding it in. And as you wind that in, this thing, it rolls around and expands the tube as you keep going, and you get to a certain point where you just can't go anymore, and that's it. And the seal on the tube is what keeps it in place, as in it's a tight fit. It's a system that's been proven time and time again. You just make sure that your surfaces are clean where it goes into the tube sheet, and also the tubes, they get polished up. It's quite a simple process, a little bit time consuming. Some boiler tubes are welded in, that depends on the application, but usually with the steam rollers, steam traction engines, steam locomotives, you just roll them in, and it works fine. And these things run around on 180 psi of steam and no problems. It's, like I said, it's a proven design. If once again, just type in tube expansion, something like that on YouTube, and you'll probably find some examples. In fact, it's probably I should put a playlist of things like hot riveting, tube expanding, all that sort of stuff on my YouTube channel to help people go there and work out what they're going to do or what they want to look at. But it is a really simple process, and I'll certainly show that when the time comes when we start putting the tubes in and sealing up the boiler properly, so we can, one, put water in it, do a hydrostatic test, and then get it steaming. Hopefully this year, touch wood, by this year we'll be able to get pressure on the boiler and get it doing what it's supposed to do. There's still quite a few parts I got to make. So for instance, this is the steamroller that's it. This is our steamroller when it was out of use by the Alora Shire Council in around about 1961, 62, might be 60, 61. It's quite complete here, as you can see, with everything still on it. And unfortunately, when we got it, some of the bits were missing. However, in saying that, some of the parts that were missing have come back to me, thankfully, and that's made a big difference to this restoration. I still need to make a lot of parts between myself and Dan down in Melbourne, who's got the same steamroller. In fact, in terms of serial numbers, we're about 3 numbers apart. So this is 16930. He has 16933, and we've worked together over time to help each other out with various different pieces. So there's still a lot to go, still a lot to do. It's definitely a major restoration, that's for sure, and can only do what you can do as you go along. Right, we'll stop sharing that. Hide that on screen. We don't need to see that. Hello. Don't need to see that anymore. I don't think we've got anything else to. This one. Oh, right, I will show this one. No. Righto. This is from the other day. I'll share this screen. It's when Dad was here. I had the camera in my hand on the Gorilla Pod.
Righto, here we are in the shed. Dad's up here. Mum and Dad have come to visit, but Dad's helped me out and given the boiler tubes a coat of rust prevention. There you go, there, Dad.
Yeah, we're getting it done. Plenty to do.
Yeah. I was just doing it on the bench, then Dad said, "Oh, you got any V blocks?" And yeah, it's made the job so much easier.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to set the camera up and do a time lapse, and we'll watch Dad speed through these. I'm shaking the camera around like you wouldn't believe. Yeah. Shoot it up.
Yeah.
I've got this leftover oil here. And we're just putting it on the tubes on the outside. It's going to be a while before they go in. But anyway, here we go.
Oh, that was it. There you go. It was just a short video, that one. But anyway, Dad just comes up and helps me. He likes coming up. He comes up, usually he comes up on the train because the government here have permanently made it 50 cents for a train ride. So when Dad comes up from Brisbane to our place here, it's 50 cents and it's 50 cents the other way, regardless of whether you're adult, senior or what. So if you do come up here to Queensland, if anyone comes up here, public transport, that includes the ferries. I think, Kerry, that includes the ferries as well? It's pretty cheap, you know, and you can get around the city for like 50 cents a go. So if you went on if you went on a train and a ferry and a bus or something like that, like cost you 50 cents a day or you know, a few bucks all up. So it's pretty good value for money. And I must admit, the suburban network here in Brisbane is pretty good. There's a lot of work going on at the moment, but you know, it is what it is. Not sure if you can hear that plane flying over. That's quite loud. Dad Shed Talk, yeah. Dad Shed Talk. I should call it that, shouldn't I? Dad Shed Talk. It's not bad, G. That's really good. So look, catamaran. Yep, the catamarans. Yep, right. That's right. Catamarans are included. Yeah. So that's a pretty good deal for 50 cents to go on public transport. Pretty well anywhere within the, you know, city network. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, I don't think you can ask much more for that. But anyway, folks, look, I've been rattling on now for about 50 minutes, so I think I'm going to wrap it up at that. I'm getting a bit old, dry in the throat, so I might go get a cup of tea or something like that. But before we go, we might just run the ad again for the Steaming Under the Southern Cross, and then we'll go with our normal outro.
Steaming Under the Southern Cross is back and bigger than ever. Australia's largest display of working heritage machinery, steam engines, vintage tractors and much more. Fun for the whole family. Don't miss it. August 23 to 31 at Kingsthorpe Park on the Warrego Highway.
So I'm hoping, obviously we're going to be away. There's a lot going on. The one win I have had, the iPhone, good old iPhone 14 Pro. I haven't, up until recently, I haven't had a way of connecting an external microphone, say like the Rode. But I've now got that sorted out. After a bit of searching on YouTube, I started suddenly coming across various other videos that showed how to do it. I've done a test with it, works great. And I'm going to do some live streaming, obviously, while we're away. The couple of trips I've got coming up this weekend, and I hope it's all going to work out. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, keep an eye out on the channel. I'll try and let people know when I'm going live. Obviously, as I'm driving, I won't be able to respond, so I might just have to see how it goes. But anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Appreciate your support and the memberships. Thanks to Funk and Hungry, Robbo for being a member. Also, Cherinator, thanks for being a member. I really appreciate your support and look forward to talking to you guys. Being members, you can reach out to me, of course, and if you've got any questions or anything you want to ask me, please feel free to reach out to me. Thanks again. You guys all have a good night. Say hello to each other somewhere along the line, and see you in the next one. Bye for now. Whistle time.